Today, I'm going to share with you exactly why you need a business bank account for your business. Ready? Let's do this. All right, so unless you've been living under a hole recently and not watching the news and not paying attention to what's going on, last week, Silicon Valley Bank failed. And for those of you that are thinking, okay, this is a really great reason why I just should not go out there and worry about a business bank account, where was I? For those of you that are thinking this is a great reason to justify why I should not go out and get a business bank account, well, you'd be wrong. And today I'm going to explain to you exactly why having a business bank account is so important for the success of your business. Now, most of you who are just getting started with your business, whether it's an online business or you're running a store for somewhere, or maybe you're starting an e-commerce brand or something like that, most of you typically start out as what are called sole proprietorships. And that means that you're not actually forming an LLC for your business. You're just kind of starting and you're running things through your personal bank account. And that just seems to be an easy way to do it for a lot of you. However, if you're interested in saving money on taxes, if you're interested in building and protecting a personal brand, if you're interested in making sure that your business is legally legit or legally protected, then this is probably not the best way to go about building your business with your personal bank account. And that's because ultimately when you run your business out of your personal bank account, in the long term, it's just not a tenable solution. It's not something that's going to work. It's going to cause you a lot of legal headaches down the road. You really need to set up a business bank account. There are two main issues that you're going to run into if you decide to use your personal bank account as kind of your business de facto bank account. And the first issue is it's going to cause you an absolute nightmare when you go to file your personal tax returns. If you ran your business out of your personal bank account in 2022 and you're getting ready to file your taxes here in 2023, you're probably already figuring this out. You're figuring out that you've got business expenses commingled with personal expenses and income coming in, and you're just not sure how to calculate everything. So that's the first thing that's going to be a really big problem for you as you're setting up your account. The second thing I just kind of alluded to is that you're now commingling your business and your personal assets. So if you should continue to grow and build your business and you ever ran into problems where somebody might sue you or come after your business or something like that, you're commingling your business and personal assets, which means that if somebody were to come after you, they basically could get everything you have as opposed to just the business assets. And so that's a problem that most people don't want to deal with. Now, I realize as I'm mentioning all this, a lot of you are thinking that, oh, wow, I have that personal bank account that I'm using as my business bank account, and I didn't realize there were all these issues. And that's common. So don't bang yourself over the head about this. This is fixable. You're just gonna have to go out and you're gonna have to set up a business bank account. That's just the way to do it. And before I explain to you the benefits of having that business bank account, I wanna have a little sip of coffee because I have a new mug this week to show off. We spent this past weekend in Coimbra, which is a college town about 2 hours or so north of Lisbon by car. And we drove up there for a cheese festival, and I got another mug. And I know it looks just like the other mug I have. The other mug I have is a little bit more bluish. This one's a little bit more yellowish, but those are really the two primary colors that we see with a lot of the tiles here in Lisbon. And so I got another one, and this one actually has a cool little, it says, I don't know if you can see that, it says Coimbra on the handle. So cheers. Good coffee. Good coffee today. Good coffee. Okay, so the first primary benefit to having this business bank account is that you're not gonna actually be commingling your assets. And this is gonna make it so much easier for you when it comes to do your taxes, or when it comes to your books, or if you end up hiring a bookkeeper. They're not gonna look at you like you're some sort of crazy person. It just is gonna be, the benefits are truly amazing. And so, because you're not commingling your assets anymore once you have that business bank account, if you were to get audited by the IRS, there's not going to be a lot of problems there because everything is going to be in the business bank account. In addition, when you're doing your taxes, it's just going to be easier to calculate everything because you know all of the expenses in your business bank account are business expenses. theoretically. Don't commingle. If you've got a business bank account, don't put personal income in there and don't pay personal expenses out of that business bank account. That's a big no-no. You don't want to do that. And then just in terms of your bookkeeping, it's just going to make everything cleaner and easier and a lot more peaceful for you as a business owner, I would say. Another main benefit to having a business bank account is it's going to make you a lot more credible, because if you can tell a client that pays you by check. Now, I don't know why people are still using checks these days. You know, here living in Europe, nobody uses checks here. Everyone just gives out, this is gonna sound crazy, I know, but everyone just gives out their bank account number or their phone number. And you say, hey, send me the money to this phone number. That's one way to do it. Or send me the number to my bank account, and on the invoice it has the bank account listed right on the bottom. So you can go into your little banking app and you just type in, you know, you want to pay for services, and you type in the bank account number. It doesn't matter what bank it's going to, and it's instantaneous. Well, actually, I think you can make it instantaneous for like a small fee, but for most people, it's delivered the next business day, and it's electronic and it's amazing. And I don't know why the United States hasn't gotten on board with this, because it's truly revolutionized the way we do our banking here in Europe. But back in the United States, where people are still from time to time using checks, you want to make sure if you are asking somebody to pay you an invoice, then they're making it payable to the business that you're running, as opposed to you as a personal business owner. And along those lines, it probably would make sense to get that LLC formed. But even if you don't have the LLC, you could have a DBA that you're using, and you could use that in conjunction with your business bank account. And so when people are writing checks to your business, it sounds like, you know, you actually have a legitimate, you know, credible business, as opposed to just, you know, a fly-by-night operation. Is that right? Am I saying that right? I think I'm saying that right. Another main reason why you want to get a business bank account is for payroll. So once you start to hire employees, or even if you are not hiring employees and you build your business, you want to have a separate account for payroll. This is actually separate than your normal business bank account. And so this is the way I do it. And I do it this way for a number of reasons, but the biggest reason is you don't want those payroll checks to bounce, and that can cause problems. Not only can it cause fees and problems with your bank, but it can also cause problems with your payroll company if you do that, and they may be less likely to want to run payroll for you, or they may, especially because a lot of these payroll checks are typically pretty big, they may want to delay the time between when you initiate payroll and when they're actually going to pay your employees, because they want to make sure the checks aren't going to bounce. So it's important to have a separate bank account just for payroll. And what I do is, when I run my payroll and I figure out exactly how much the payroll is going to be, I deposit that amount of money from my operating account into my payroll account. And then when payroll is run, I know that all the money that's needed for the salaries and all the money that's needed for the taxes is there in the account, and there's not an issue with that. And that's really the only thing we use that account for. Okay, and then the last reason is obviously for liability reasons, because if you're running an LLC, now if you're a sole proprietor, it doesn't matter. There's no liability protection if you're a sole proprietor. But if you do have an LLC and you're still running things out of your personal business account, there's really no benefit to that limited liability shield, if you will, that you have with that LLC, because you're running everything out of your personal account. And by doing that, somebody could come in and pierce the corporate veil and get at all of your personal assets in addition to all the business assets. So you want to make sure to protect that corporate veil. You have a separate business account for your LLC, for your business. I do have a recommended resource for you in terms of a business bank that you can use. And if you're worried about, well, what happens if this bank fails, you don't need to worry about that. All business deposits are covered by FDIC insurance up to $250,000. So if you have more than that, then you may want to open up a separate bank somewhere else to put your savings in. But if you're under $250,000 for your business bank account, then you don't need to worry about the bank failing. You're going to be fine. I think this is especially important to make mention of because of this recent failure of Silicon Valley Bank. The resource is RelayFi, and I'm going to go ahead and include a link down in the description below where you can go ahead and get signed up. And the nice thing about RelayFi is you can quickly and easily open up to 20 business bank accounts for your business through that one account with them. They have all sorts of perks and bonuses and special features that you can use. So if you're following the Profit First system, it makes it incredibly easy to get set up with all the different bank accounts that you're going to need. So that is what I would recommend you do. If you like this video, then you're gonna probably like this other video I did right here that talks more about how to legally set up your LLC and your business for success. Thank you so much for watching today, folks. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye-bye.